Hey everyone, before the story begins, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel. This story is long, emotional, and every detail matters until the very last moment. The night my wife threw me out, the storm over Rotterdam felt personal. Rain hammered the narrow street like it was trying to break through the asphalt. Wind howled between the brick row houses, rattling bicycles chained to railings. I stood in the doorway, soaked within seconds, holding nothing but my phone and the jacket I'd grabbed too late. "Get out!" Marieke shouted, her voice sharp with certainty. "I don't want to hear another word." Behind her, Eva stood at the top of the stairs, 17 years old, dry, silent, watching. "I didn't do this," I said, my voice barely cutting through the wind. "You know me." Marieke's eyes were wild, offended that I would even try. My daughter would never lie about something like that. The door slammed, the lock turned, and just like that, 17 years of marriage ended in the rain over a lie my stepdaughter invented. I met Marieke when Eva was 6. Her biological father had vanished early, one of those men who drift through lives and leave nothing but unanswered questions. Eva had big eyes back then, always watching, always measuring. I tried to win her slowly. I read bedtime stories. I fixed broken toys. I learned which foods she refused and which routines calmed her. I never tried to replace her father. I only tried to stay. Marieke loved that about me, or said she did. We built a life brick by brick, a modest house, summer trips to Zealand, Sunday mornings with strong coffee and weak sunlight. I worked logistics at the port, long hours, steady pay, not impressive, but reliable. My father had taught me that reliability was a form of love. He'd learned that lesson too late. My father was a dock worker once. When automation came, he was pushed aside politely, efficiently. He drank himself smaller every year until he disappeared into a hospital bed that smelled of disinfectant and regret. My mother followed not long after. I promised myself I would never abandon the people who depended on me. Eva grew. Puberty sharpened her edges. By 14, she treated me like a tolerated tenant. By 16, like an intruder. Marieke dismissed it as a phase. "You're the adult," she'd say. "Be patient." So I was. Until the accusation. It was Eva who told her mother that I had gone through her phone, that I'd invaded her privacy, that I'd made her uncomfortable. She cried convincingly. She always had. Marieke didn't ask me first. She didn't hesitate. She didn't question why Eva's story kept shifting in small, careful ways. She reacted like a mother protecting territory. That stormy night, she chose blood over history. I spent the first night under the awning of a closed cafe, listening to the rain and wondering how something so solid could dissolve so quickly. The next days blurred, a cheap room near the Maas, damp walls, the smell of mold and old smoke. I went to work like nothing had happened. Routine was the only thing that didn't betray me. Eva blocked my number. Marieke sent one message. "Give us space." Space was something I'd learned to fear. Weeks passed, then months. The divorce papers arrived without conversation. Eva's statement was included, formal now, precise, as if coached. The lie had matured. I could have fought harder. I could have screamed my innocence. But lies collapse best when left alone long enough to grow heavy. I started noticing things I'd ignored before. Eva's expensive tastes. New clothes Marieke couldn't afford on her salary. The way Eva's phone never left her hand. One evening, leaving work late, I saw her near the metro station, with a man old enough to know better. Well-dressed, confident, married, if the ring meant anything. I didn't confront her. I followed patterns. The man was Willem van Dijk, a regional developer, married, politically connected, the kind of man who believed consequences were for other people. I remembered Eva's accusation with sudden clarity. It wasn't about me. It was about distraction. I spoke to no one at first. I observed, listened, learned. Eva's lie had given her leverage. Victimhood is powerful currency. It buys silence. It buys belief. It buys protection. I contacted a journalist I'd once helped anonymously with port data. An older woman named Saskia who believed patience was a weapon. "Truth doesn't need shouting," she told me. "It needs timing." Evidence surfaced slowly. Messages, photos, hotel receipts. Willem's pattern of young girls protected by money and intimidation. Ava was not his first mistake. When the story broke, it didn't explode. It spread. Willem resigned for personal reasons. Investigations followed. Marieke's world cracked quietly, like ice under careful pressure. Ava denied everything, until she didn't. The confrontation happened in a small family court office, months later. Ava sat across from me, pale, her confidence gone. Marieke looked like someone waking from a long, exhausting dream. Ava finally spoke. Her voice was flat. I didn't think it would go this far. Marieke turned to me, eyes filling too late. Why didn't you tell me? I met her gaze steadily. You didn't ask. Silence settled between us. Thick, irreversible. Ava was sent to live with relatives. Therapy, consequences, finally shaped like reality. The false accusation was formally withdrawn. But apologies don't rebuild burned houses. On another stormy evening, much like the first, Marieke came to see me. I made a mistake, she said, standing in the rain now. I chose wrong. I looked at her, at the familiar face that had once been home. Yes, I said gently. You did. I closed the door, not in anger, but in acceptance. Outside, the storm moved on. Inside, for the first time in years, so did I. 17 years of marriage had ended in a lie, but my life didn't. And sometimes, surviving the storm is the quietest revenge of all.